1300 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Health has asked the people to strictly adhere to standard operating procedures against COVID-19 as alarming increase in positive cases is putting pressure on the healthcare system of the country. The government has decided to roll out an education stipend program for secondary education under the Wasila-e-Taaleem program. In Afghanistan, 36 people have been killed in clashes between the security forces and militants in various parts of the country. In Myanmar, international pressure on the military junta has increased to halt the crackdown against pro-democracy supporters. And now the news in detail. The Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on National Health Services, Dr. Faisal Sultan, has said the COVID positive ratio has doubled from 4.5% to 9.5% in the last few days. Briefing the media persons in Islamabad today, he said there is an alarming situation which is increasing the burden on our healthcare system. He said the pressure especially being seen on the health infrastructure in major cities of the Punjab, Islamabad and Peshawar. The Special Assistant said it is our collective responsibility to fully comply with the standard operating procedures to cope with the challenge. He advised the people to wear face masks and ensure social distancing, and the wedding events should also be organized in open air with minimum possible guests. Regarding vaccination, the Special Assistant said the process is continuing and the people aged over 70 years can get vaccination shots without any appointment. Dr. Faisal Sultan said 2 consignments of the vaccine purchased by Pakistan will also arrive in the country by the end of this month. 42 more deaths due to coronavirus and 3,876 new positive cases were reported in the country during the last 24 hours. The death toll due to the pandemic in the country has now reached 13,799. According to the latest statistics, 579,760 patients have so far recovered from the infection. The government has decided to roll out an education stipend program for secondary education under the Wasila-e-Taaleem program. Presiding over a meeting in Islamabad, the Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Social Protection, Dr. Sania Nishtar, said aiming to tackle very low enrollment rates, Wasila-e-Taaleem is being expanded to secondary education level. Currently, there are 18.7 million out-of-school children in the age group 6 to 16 in the country. The Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Political Affairs, Dr. Shahbaz Gill, says difficult decisions taken by the government are now yielding positive results. In a tweet, he said the State Bank of Pakistan has revised the GDP growth rate for the current year from 2 to 3%, while the International Monetary Fund and Moody's have also projected 4% growth rate of the GDP in the next financial year. Dr. Shahbaz Gill said satisfaction of the international financial institutions reflects that the propaganda of the opposition about the economy is only hatred. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the Indian troops have launched a cordon and search operation in Ganderbal district. The troops cordoned off Kohistan colony in Safapura area of the district and launched house-to-house searches. The troops sealed all the entry and exit points of the area. In Afghanistan, 36 people have been killed during clashes between the militants and the security forces in various parts of the country. In Myanmar, international pressure on the military junta to halt its repression of pro-democracy supporters increased after 2 more people were killed in Magok city. According to the country's new portal, the incident raised the death toll to 237 since February 1st military coup. In a statement, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres condemned the military's continuing brutal violence and urged a firm and unified international response. The American House of Representatives approval legislation condemning the coup and lawmakers decried the increasingly harsh tactics against the demonstrators. Malaysia, the Philippines, and Indonesia have also demanded that the use of violence be stopped immediately so that there are no more victims. The Council of Arab Interior Ministers, Muslim World League, and Qatar have strongly condemned a drone terrorist attack on Riyadh oil refinery. In the separate statements, they said cowardly terrorist act by the Houthi rebels represent a flagrant violation of all the international laws. Meanwhile, Houthi rebels have fired 2 more explosive-laden drones towards the King Khalid Air Base in Khamis Mushat city of Saudi Arabia. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.